Hurricane Fiona is now a deadly, powerful Category 3 storm, the Atlantic's first major hurricane this season. At least 4 people are reported dead. Right now, it's churning through the Caribbean over Turks and Caicos.
It's already slammed the Dominican Republic, destroying roads, as you can see, tearing apart buildings. More than 1 million residents there do not have running water. And in Puerto Rico, catastrophic flooding. It's reminiscent of Hurricane Maria, which hit exactly 5 years ago today. More than 1 million residents are without power, and 2/3 are without running water. CNN meteorologist Jennifer Gray is
Category 4 storm possibly tomorrow or Thursday morning. It has winds of 115 miles per hour now, gusts of 140, moving to the north-northwest at 9. As it pulls away from the Turks and Caicos in the next couple of hours, it will be in a prime environment for strengthening, and that's what we're going to see over the course of the next 24 hours. We still have hurricane watches and warnings in place. Turks and Caicos still very much in this. 5 to 8 feet of storm surge. That's the threat. We have video out of the Turks and Caicos, and you can see the palm trees. Very rough weather, but once it starts to pull away later this evening into tomorrow morning, conditions will drastically improve there, and then we'll see Hurricane Fiona strengthen. By Thursday morning, the National Hurricane Center has this as a Category 4 storm, making a very close pass to Bermuda as a very powerful storm. And then what's interesting about this is we could see a Category 2 storm in Canada. Last time we saw this was 2003, so very rare for a storm that strong to impact Canada. So this is basically the rain forecast, the satellite, and we're seeing rain all the way through the weekend as this heads to the north. Victor Nelson?
Now, FEMA reps say that its biggest challenge in Puerto Rico is the rain that won't stop. What are the totals? And is
first major hurricane of the season, and the eye wall, which was quite ragged, is now well defined. And if you notice the bright colors of purple here, heavy convection is now encircling this eye. So it's a monster storm. It's going to come very, very close to Bermuda, passing just to the west, where the water temperatures are extremely high and even far to the north. So if you look at the track of the system, even though Bermuda conditions are deteriorating there, they're into the wind, they're into the rainfall, but it stays to the east. It's Category 3 that plows up into Atlantic Canada. More on that in a minute. We've got our own problems here. Dangerous rip currents and high seas. Already we're seeing wave heights up to 50 feet, and they're going to get higher when it passes by Bermuda. So that's their biggest issue. But watch how these wave heights continue just to slam into Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. 29, 39 feet. This is amazing. That's why this is unprecedented to them. And when you look
yesterday afternoon, and now we have this much bigger bubble, and it is now tropical depression number 9, and it will become a tropical storm or a hurricane. Here, all the convection is here. Hurricane Center waiting for this to come around and get those winds a little bit stronger. When you have them separated, it's just not really an event. It's just a spin out there. But the spin is going to get angry, and the spin is going to get organized, and all of a sudden, we're going to move this thing on up toward either Florida or the Gulf, just the center of the Gulf of Mexico. The reason why this is going to get so strong so quickly, temperatures are in the lower to upper 80s for water temperature. That is so very warm. There's the storm about where we thought yesterday, but it was farther from here to maybe here. Now focusing in maybe just a little bit more.
Strengthening, it will. Give it a little more time, unfortunately. It's about to move into that very conducive northwestern Caribbean. And storm watch up 7 Mile Bridge down through Key West and dry Tortugas. If you look at the visible, it's a little bit different appearance, isn't it? That starts to have the look. The upper level outflow is really well defined. It's got everything going.
20 mile per hour wind. It is a
Category 3 storm moving north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center taking it to Category 4 as it approaches. That's going to be around the middle of the day tomorrow, moving towards that southwest coast of Florida, and again, really slowing down as it does so. We've already seen a water level rise in Key West of a couple of feet, with that eye wall passing about 40-50 miles to the west. But notice that we are not looking at a water level rise in southwest Florida as of yet. And so, as Chris mentioned, you've still got time to get out there in southwest Florida. There's a live look at Key West, a recent gust of 68 miles per hour.
That's a real deal of a meal. Like KFC 2-piece from a guy combo is just $6.
This very dangerous storm is going to bring a life-threatening level of storm surge to the west coast of Florida, which is the most surge-vulnerable section of coastline in the entire country. How much surge are we talking about? In the latest forecast, we're looking at 8 to 12 feet along the west coast of Florida. That from Sarasota on southward into Fort Myers, 6 to 9 feet to the south of that, and 4 to 6 around Tampa Bay. So what does that look like? Well, the Hurricane Center has modeling which shows the reasonable...
Right now we have 2 tornado-warned storms on the east side of Florida. We're talking I-95 corridor, zooming in here just north of Fort Pierce. Both of these. Right now we have 2 tornado-warned storms on the east side of Florida. We're talking I-95 corridor, zooming in here just north of Fort Pierce. Both of these.